Hello, this video is about the multiplication of algebraic fractions. Before we go to the algebraic fractions, I just want to go back and remind you of the multiplication of common fractions. Remember, if we have something like 2/3 times 9/12, right? Very importantly, we have a multiplication here as operation. And when we have a multiplication, then we can apply the cancelling rules. So if we look at that 3 and 9, the highest common factor is 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1 and 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then between 2 and 12, the highest common factor is 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1 and 12 divided by 2 is 6. And now the simple rule, top times top and bottom times bottom. So 1 times 3 equals 3 and 1 times 6 equals 6. Okay, and if you look at 3, 6, again there's a highest common factor which is 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that gives me a simplified fraction of 1/2. So what I am doing here, people, I am cancelling before I multiply. Okay, or I can first multiply and then cancel. My answer will give me the same thing. So if we look at this example, then we see 2pq over m squared times negative 4m over 10p squared q. So already we can see that there are common factors. Okay, so the 2 and the 10 can be cancelled, right? This again, importantly, is a multiplication, okay? And then remember, people, that is just a negative integer, okay? So that is negative 4. But I can cancel the 2 and the 10. I could also cancel the negative 4 and the 10. Maybe I should do that now because that is a bit more complicated. So between negative 4 and 10, the highest common factor is 2, okay? So always find the highest common factor of the numbers. And then divide your numerator, negative 4, by the highest common factor, which is 2, which gives me a remainder of negative 2. So you write down your remainder. Then 10 divided by 2 gives me a remainder of 5. So write down your remainder. Please work neatly so that you eventually can multiply the two tops and the two bottoms. Okay, then I can see p squared there and p, okay, when we divide powers with the same base, we subtract the index. So I cancel the p, I subtract the 1 here, which gives me p as a remainder, okay, a remainder. Right, then I have q divided by q. If I divide one number by itself, it always gives me a 1 as a remainder. And then I still have m squared and m. So once again, powers with the same base, subtract the index. So I'm going to take this one away. I will subtract the index minus 1 there, which gives me m to the power of 2 minus 1. Cancel this, gives me a remainder of m. Okay, now please have a look. This is still remaining. The negative 2 is still remaining. This is remaining. And the 5p is remaining. Which means now I can multiply top times top. Okay, and bottom times bottom. So here we have 2 multiplied by negative 2, which gives me a negative 4. Right? And my bottom is m times 5p, so that's really 5 times 1 is 5. M times no other m is m, and p times no other p is p. So that gives me 5mp. So my answer is negative 4 over 5mp. All right, if we look at the next example, 6 over a plus 2 times a squared minus 4 over 3. All right, once again, take note, my operation is a multiplication sign, which means I can cancel tops and bottoms, okay? But remember, importantly, there is a plus and there is a minus. I cannot cancel into plus and minuses. So immediately you put around brackets. Okay? Very important. If there are pluses and minuses, put brackets around. Okay? This makes this one term. If you look at this, a squared minus 4, you should recognize that now as a difference between two squares. And remember, with the cancellation rules, I told you your step to get to cancellation is to factorize. All right? So as soon as we have plus and minuses, we first have a look whether we can factorize. And this you should recognize as a difference between two squares. And remember, our donkey bridge is block plus circle, block minus circle. So this becomes a plus 2 and a minus 2. So that is the factorization of the difference between two squares. So that denominator remains 3. Okay, then that numerator remains 6. Now a plus 2 people cannot be factorized. There is no highest common factor. It's not the difference between two squares. A plus 2. But you should then also immediately see that I've got a plus 2 there and I've got a plus 2 there. And remember, the same brackets can be cancelled. Importantly, the whole bracket must be the same. Okay? Then if you have a look, there is a 6 and there is a 3. So there is still a common factor, okay? Which is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1 and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay? Having cancelled those numbers. Which gives me at the top the 2 times a minus 2, and at the bottom this is 1 times 1, so which is over 1, which I don't really need. Okay, it is for that matter 2 in brackets a minus 2, the over 1 I don't need. That is my answer. So I repeat, peoples, as soon as you have plus and minuses in the numerators and the denominators, put the brackets around to make that one term. Then have a look whether you can factorize the different brackets. Okay, and as soon as you have factorized the different brackets, you then find common brackets, one in the numerator, one in the denominator. If they are exactly the same, you can cancel them. Okay, and then lastly, our last step is top times top, bottom times bottom, and that gives me the final answer.